The Gators could have a big commitment this weekend. Dijon Johnson, 4-star cornerback out of the Tampa Bay area, has announced that he's going to make his decision on Thursday. He decommitted from Ohio State over the summer. Didn't really take too many visits this fall, and now the decision announcement date is set. What are you thinking, Chad?
Thinking nothing different than when he decommitted from Ohio State, a while back. The Florida Gators, man. I think Florida, even when he was committed to Ohio State, had quietly positioned himself in a good spot and had him on campus, a handful of times. Some reported, some not. Obviously, he's from right there in Tampa, not a hard ride up to Gainesville, to the Swamp. And he's gotten very familiar, very close with that staff. And he likes the fit, obviously under Corey Raymond, the defensive scheme under Patrick Toney. And, one thing I'm hearing consistently from recruits, whether it's guys that are committed to Florida, looking at Florida, or just considering Florida, that they like Billy Napier, his attention to detail, his structure. I think Dijon likes all those things, from Napier all the way down through the staff and the fan base and the Swamp. But I think Florida's in a great spot to finally land a public commitment from Dijon Johnson.
Yeah, and also 3-star Georgia DB Bryce Thornton is set to make his announcement on Thursday, and it's also expected to be the Gators. So let me just connect the dots here, Chad. You got 2 DBs committing to Florida, most likely on Thursday. Okay. Do you think this has anything to do with Cormani McClain? Now, just hear me out. Maybe the Gators are trying to wrap up their entire DB class this week. We just saw what happened last week, and Cormani McClain cancels his visit to Alabama. It was supposed to be an official visit. It's off. Now, of course, they're saying that it's going to get rescheduled down the road. Or is the Gators going to close on him this week and just shut it all down?
Well, I mean, you really would make the Florida Gator fans happy and the coaching staff ecstatic if that's how it plays out this weekend, Josh, for sure. I do think, obviously, Cormani not going to Alabama, even though the word came out that it was never, I guess, quote-unquote, officially locked in or scheduled, him and Bama. But what is that kind of a cop-out? But they plan to try to get him back from Mississippi State, then an official in December. We'll see what happens. But I do think, like I've said before in recent weeks and in recent shows, that the momentum is around Florida for Cormani McClain. They definitely are in a great spot with Dijon Johnson and Bryce Thornton, 2 DBs, 1 corner, 1 safety. Cormani would be the bow on that present for a great, almost gifting week for the University of Florida. Does he show up this weekend at the Swamp? That's something we're definitely watching. I'm definitely hearing it's likely that he's there. If he's there, that's a win within itself for the University of Florida to kind of keep trying to add that momentum. I don't know if he commits this weekend, but Florida continues to trend for 5-star plus cornerback Cormani McClain.
Well, that's my conspiracy theory, at least. We'll see what happens. I mean, if he does show up in Gainesville this weekend, having 2 other DBs committed this week, you never know. Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. And remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.